A very good day to you. Welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jalil Kabir. I'm glad that you're joining us for political conversations. Conversations that are simple, truthful, and biased. Prof puts them in a hard-hitting way. Today, how are you doing?
Good.
Just fine?
Fine.
We have 8 petitions in our Supreme Court.
When you are alive, you must thank God. You cannot just be fine. That's like to challenge God. You are fine and you are happy you are living.
And you're grateful.
And you are grateful to God.
Now, talk to me about the petition challenging Chebukati's declaration that Deputy President William Ruto is the president-elect. How different should it be now in the Supreme Court this time around compared to 2013, 2017? Because in 2013, we saw Raila, it wasn't nullified. 2017, nullified. Raila did not take part in the election, repeat election. How different should the Supreme Court now deliver its judgment this time around?
First of all, let us put record straight that this is an avenue provided for by our Constitution, so anybody going to court is within the rights. Secondly, it's a good thing to do instead of people spilling into the streets. Thirdly, the difference between now and the previous petitions is that this country has gotten to a place where certain serious decisions have to be made. Either we want to remain a poor third world country that is backwards and dirty, or we want to join the League of Nations. One of the things we must deal with firmly so that we don't get back to it again is the issue of election malpractices. Which then means if we handle it firmly, we do not expect to see petitions brought before the Supreme Court. So that once the people of Kenya have made a decision on who the president is, that is the person. So we don't get to a point where it is the Supreme Court telling us. Because you see, once you take a case to the Supreme Court, you're actually saying the Supreme Court will determine the president in more ways than one. Forget about these people are saying recount and then declaring. Even a rerun. Even in 2017, Raila didn't participate in the rerun. Meaning, he said, okay, since you are missing this thing, you can decide who the president is, not the people of Kenya. Okay. So Uhuru and Raila and Ruto were not elected by the people of Kenya in 2017. They were elected by the Supreme Court. Why? And that's why I say this time it must be firm and final in a serious way. Okay. Because you nullify an election, you don't indict the people who have missed the election. They proceed to supervise the ensuing election. The mistakes they have made, they are identified. You put nothing in place to check on those. Then you tell people to go back into an election. Well, so what have you done real? On
Twitter, you said this petition is bringing back hope to the people of Kenya. Raila's petition now heading to the Supreme Court. Is this hope going to be determined by the judgment? And after the judgment, will we have gloom if the elections are not nullified? As you put it, the country is gloomy. That's what you said.
I said after the announcement of William Ruto, there were not many celebrations across the country. It's like people were embarrassed that they were celebrating. Tells you there was something wrong. Even they knew there was something wrong. And I said the moment this case was brought to the Supreme Court, you could see the mood changing in the country. But I said this petition will bring back hope to the people of Kenya. Not so much in nullifying or not nullifying, but in nailing the culprits. This time, we don't care whether the election is nullified or not. We just want to nail the culprits. Put them to jail. Send somebody to jail. Send people to jail. And seal all the loopholes. You know, some of the electoral successes we have today have been brought about by the challenges of Raila Odinga. So even William Ruto is eating off the back of Raila Odinga. Because even the Supreme Court, even the IBC, the little gains we have made are as a result of the challenges of 2013 and 2017. Okay. So we gain, but I'm saying this time it must be done in almost a final way.
When you say culprits, according to Raila's petitions are almost 23 cases there. The person who has been mentioned is the chairperson of Wafula Chebukati. According to Martha Karua's affidavit, it's like it's Chebukati who has committed treason. They called it treason. I don't know if you read it. Is the culprit here to be jailed going to be Chebukati if there is an election?
I've read some of the petitions, not all of them. But fingers seem to be pointing at Chebukati and the people within the IEBC and outsiders. So if the Supreme Court, if these petitioners are able to put flesh on their petition, you can pick rumors from the social media and take it before the Supreme Court.
Yes.
I hope that's not what they have done. Huh?
Yeah.
It could just be the usual rumors we get from the Supreme Court, from the social media. Then you take the Supreme Court, which will be foolish. But if they have put flesh to their case, and the Supreme Court does find merit in what they are saying, then people like Chebukati should face the music, so that no Kenyan will ever attempt to mess an election, even as we reorganize how to do our elections in the future. But the message must be, never should any Kenyan attempt to mess an election, because a messed election could spell doom to the country.
What should Raila look for when it comes to them now going to they have petitioned, yes, but they're going to be heard next week? What should he make sure is seen by the judges, so that we do not have a case where, yes, there is nullification or there is a rerun, but he still doesn't get to vie again as he did in 2017, and you say things happened with Uhuru and Ruto?
No, the judgment must be comprehensive. Yes. If you are nullifying an election, you cannot nullify an election and you don't tell us who messed it. And you do nothing about the person. If you nullify an election, you must identify those things that are making you nullify the election. And you cannot do that and then leave the same things intact and tell us to go to another election. So the Supreme Court this time is not a question of nullifying or not nullifying. It is, if you nullify, tell us who messed it. What punishment do you think is fit for that person or those persons?
Okay.
What are the things that people did, procedural and otherwise, equipment and everything, that they used to mess the election? What do you propose we do within the 6? I don't even mind the Supreme Court using its powers to say 60 days are not enough to go into an election. It will be the same election. We as a Supreme Court are interpreting this constitution in such a way and using our powers to save the people of Kenya. Let them have 180 days to reform even the IEBC. Even 6 months, we don't mind. We are not in a hurry. For a good thing, you can never be in a hurry.
Oh.
Yes.
So Uhuru continues speaking?
Yes, there's no
as
problem.
President?
I would be happy with that. They say, look here, you cannot go into an election with this mess we have seen. How sure are we the equipment like Kimskit can do another election? How sure are we the people who from whom we procure the ballot papers will not print extra ballot papers? So all these things cannot be done in 60 days. And therefore, we are interpreting this thing liberally as a Supreme Court. That because the law says there must be another election, prescribing 60 days as the period. And because of what needs to be done, we see that 60 days are not enough. Under the Supreme Court of Kenya, we are saying 6 months.
I want to know.
And do 1, 2, 3 before that election. Fine. The people of Kenya will not have a problem.
We have clarity.
Not Ruto, not Raila, not anybody. None of them should have a problem. Let Uhuru continue being president.
I want to know then, is 14 days enough for the judgment to be delivered? I was looking at an interview done by Justice Linaola, I think some days before the election, and he was saying 14 days, we cannot order a recount because they need to deliver the verdict on the 14th day. Is 14 days enough, or should we also look at this later in the future?
I did a video recently, I don't know when, about it. And I said, the people who gave 14 days are not foolish people. They have been in this country. The late Zamba Getonga was a serious jurist. He has been a lawyer of repute. He had been a lawyer of repute for many years. And he has seen election petitions even for councillors, for MPs. You cannot process a petition in 14 days. They knew that.
Yeah.
So those who are asking 30 days are also wrong. You cannot process a presidential petition in 30 days. Even a year may be difficult. So why do you think they gave 14?
Yeah.
Because the Supreme Court is not an ordinary court. Yes. It's not an ordinary court. Now, if people think we had lower courts, high court, court of appeal, why did we have this apex court?
Yeah.
Across the world in different jurisdictions, the Supreme Court is a serious court. And it's a political court. What the Supreme Court was expected to do in 14 days is what I'm saying, have a bird's view of the election. And just a glance at the material, the evidence, the case itself, even the mood in the country, a lot of things, and you know this election has to be nullified.
Okay.
You just know this one has to be nullified.
So more politics than...
Putting more things in a lot of things, including the politics of the country, public good, public interest, security of the country. You put, even before you look at this case, say this election will be nullified.
Okay.
This one will be upheld. Now, when you look at the material before you, you behave like a policeman. The Supreme Court ought to behave like a policeman on a Kenyan road. Even if you went to Toyota Kenya and drove a new car and a policeman on our road stopped you, if they want to find a mistake, they'll find it. Right?
Yeah.
So watapata makosa?
Watapata.
Oh, watapata makosa. So the Supreme Court is supposed to be like a Kenyan policeman on the road. Wakitaka kupata makosa, they will get a mistake, an offense, and charge you with it.
Okay.
You may think the car is new, but the guys who gave the car forgot to put the triangle, that light,
Yes.
for safety.
Yeah.
Or the distance between you and the vehicle ahead.
Yeah.
You have never known how many meters it's supposed to be. You know, Kenyans, we go bumper to bumper.
Yes.
But so they will find you with a mistake.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, if that be the case, then the Supreme Court, if they wanted to nullify an election, even if the case is not strong, they will find something and use it to nullify. So in other words, the Supreme Court makes a decision beforehand and works backwards to justify the decision in the interest of the country.
All the judges.
Yeah.
They have their
That's how
decision.
they're supposed to see it. You get it? On the other hand, even if you came with the most watertight case that should lead to a nullification, but other factors considered, it will not be in the interest of the country to nullify that election. Again, they will not nullify it. They will look for something in your evidence and say, now, on the basis of this and this, we cannot nullify an election, and you go home.
Then I'd want to know what you make of that lorry full of evidence
Yes.
that dropped by Milimani law
Yes.
courts. So does that mean that this evidence doesn't really matter in the eyes of the judges?
No, you see, you need to understand what I'm saying. The litigants must put their best foot forward. The Supreme Court will listen to the litigants, as they should. But the Supreme Court has a higher calling. A higher call?
Higher calling.
You see, if you read works by people like Achebe that depict the African situation, things fall apart and the rest, then you begin to see that those who make decisions like judges, even the Greek society, they were gods. So, Mother Kome is supposed to be a goddess. You see?
Yeah.
Do you see somebody like Smoking Wanjala there?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be a god. And that's a shrine. In those societies, a woman was a woman with other women in the market. But at some point, she turned into a goddess in her role. The Gugus, the men who came to listen to a case, a dispute, did not come dressed like human beings. They came like spirits in masks. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So they were not human beings now. That is what a Supreme Court is supposed to be. A shrine of gods and goddesses who from up there, they look at society and see what is good for the country at that time and make the decision on the basis of that, not necessarily on the basis of the weight. And I argued in that video of mine that between nullifying and not nullifying, if you are the Supreme Court, which offers the best hope for Kenyans? And I said you nullify. Nullifying, you send people back to the field. It's like a penalty shootout. So if you are arguing that the referee had been bought, that's now Raila saying Ruto had rigged. Do you have rigging in a penalty shootout? Because if Ruto has rigged this election, He has not rigged it in 2 weeks, in 1 week. It has taken years to rig an election you plan. 60 days are not enough for you to plan to rig.
Yes.
Secondly, a few of the things that made rigging possible will be removed by the Supreme Court, and some of the people indicted and even prevented from supervising the next election. So the field will be so level, and it's a penalty shootout. So when Raila is defeated, he cannot complain, even his followers. When Ruto is defeated, people can say, huyu kumbe alikuwa ameiba.
Okay.
It's a penalty shootout. You and the goalkeeper. Pop! Over the bar. Next one, goalkeeper ameshika. You go home knowing makosa ni yako. That's the beauty of a repeat.
Okay.
You don't nullify, and the people can spill into the streets if you read the mood of the country. Now, the worst bit will be people do not spill into the streets, but there's such a serious apathy that in the next elections we are going to have, it will be difficult to have 5 million voting. 5 million people to vote, it will be a very difficult thing to get.
Yeah.
But more seriously, there will be a significant portion of this country so mad inside, you only need something small to happen and the country gets into problems. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, the wise men, according to me, must understand the country and the mood and the possibilities that are available to them and to the country, and then get the best way forward.
Deliver their judgment.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have this conversation live until we do talk again. It's been a short, today I've not even asked so many questions. You're the one who has spoken. It's more like a lecture.
Yes,
Until we do have these conversations again. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jedel Kabiro. If you're watching us for the first time, we're at 103,000 subscribers. We've come from far. Be the first one to subscribe after this video, even as I'm speaking right now. Until we talk again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.